G'day. Welcome to the Food Forest Oz. So this is where we're at. This is the predicament that Elvis finds himself in. He's got a nice big cage. He's got dust baths and water and my maple because it keeps falling over in the wind. And here he is, the poor bugger. He misses the girls. And they miss him as well. That was surprising. I actually saw Scully, which is the little black one out there, who never ever passes up a meal, walk straight past a piece of bread and go and give her commiserations to him the first day we put him in here, and it was kind of sad. It's fair to say that we had a fairly big argument before he decided, well, I decided that he was going to go in here, and it took me about 15 minutes to catch him. I thought, well, I'm not having this anymore. And so in he goes. Now, I know that you can't train a rooster, and you definitely can't punish him. He doesn't know what he's in here for. He was just doing his job. So this is not punishment. We're coming up here, we're hand feeding him worms and just trying to get him a little bit more used to Leah and myself. But we've made a decision that when other people come here, Elvis is going to have to come back in here, into his kingdom. So I know it seems bad, like I feel bad for him, but at the same time, he's a dangerous chicken. He's a grumpy chicken. He likes to attack people. Even yesterday, my mum, for some reason, decided to run her finger along this wire to him, and we're trying to calm him down. Why? What? But yeah, he didn't like that, and he went her through the wire. So he's good with me and Leah. At the moment, he's more worried about the girls, which is a good thing. And yeah, since he's been in here, he hasn't attacked either of us. So we'll see what happens. Contingency plan is, we be careful when he comes in here when other people are over. He's a good looking rooster though, isn't he? So we've just finished a day of work. Sorry the camera's a bit shaky, but Smushy is trying to help me film. Aren't you, big fella? Oh, come on, mate, out of the garden. But yeah, all those plants that I planted, 3 weeks ago, this is what they're looking like. So people say that plants struggle to grow with sunflowers. They're allelopathic, but I believe, and this is just something that I've heard, but it seems to be true, that if they've got enough nutrients and enough water, then you can definitely grow whatever you want with them. Probably don't grow too many of them because they've got really big, deep root systems. And I'm not sure if they're deep, but they're big, and they will steal nutrients. So that's a lot of what I'll watch for. But these garden beds are going to have so much compost and so much worm castings. I'm really not worried about it. So got some borage down there. We've got beetroots. I actually have a strawberry. So you can't see it, but it's on that little spent flower there. And that's great. It means it's been pollinated. Do strawberries need pollination? But anyway, I've got flowers on a couple of them. That's really good. And everything else is going quite well. We've finished work and Shane and I are just relaxing. You can see the deck and the pergola is pretty much finished. Just got to put tiles on it, give it a sand back, give it another paint of stain or clear coat or whatever. And this fence, this did our head in. Absolutely did our head in, but it's come up really, really well. Took us 3 days, that. Building on an angle is an absolute bloody nightmare. So you can see it's all going really well. We didn't get anything done on the stream. Oh, that's not true. We fixed this, and for some reason, okay, so this goes from that water tank, goes down there, and goes down. Now we found it goes into the pump down there, which is really weird. And before we haven't changed anything other than put a valve on it, which is closed at the moment. But now we turn that valve on, and both the overflows start running because that tank is full. So for whatever reason, the tank behind me is filling this tank up, and it shouldn't be. Who knows? I'm going to get somebody that knows what they're doing and have a look at it. There's our bridge. There's one of our rails. We've broken 4 of them trying to do that. I'm thinking maybe I'll put some other type of railing on there, but we'll see. We'll have another go at this. It's not finished yet. It's not cut properly. And it needs to be screwed down correctly. But yeah, the bridge, it looks good. Everybody seems to like it. What else has been happening? Let's go and have a look up at the compost, shall we? instead of taking you up there like I normally do and showing you compost temperatures, blah, 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 all you need to know is there's compost up there. It's going. This is special compost. Now, you guys might have heard myself or Dano or Grant or Beshi talk about the Compost King competition, and that's over now, pretty much. It could be the next 2 days, could have been 2 days ago. It's a pretty friendly competition. Currently, we're just waiting, trying to find places that'll soil test stuff in Namibia. So once we figure that out, we'll show you the whole lot. The goal was to make a cubic metre of compost. Now, I didn't achieve that. I think I've got about maybe half to 3/4 of a cubic metre. So automatically, that's probably a bit of a fail for me. I know Dano and Grant have got lots of compost. So I was busy here and I didn't have a chance to really get the green waste I wanted. So there you go. But this is the special stuff, and I thought I'd bring it down here. It's a bit prettier, and we'll have a look at it. I know there's a couple of worms in there because the problem was, you remember, I unleashed like 10,000 worms in there and they disappeared. I turned them over with the digger, couldn't find them, looked all through it. They seem to be back, but I'm not sure how many of them are back. I know there's worms in there. So yeah, let's have a look. Let's figure it out. This is what we have. We have the Compost King. Let's just call it that. You know it's going to win. A bit woody though, don't you think? And I've got my trusty old tote. If you guys don't have these in the garden, get them. I got them for free, but they're amazing because you can do this. So that is my sieve. And what I'm going to show you is I'm going to tip this out into that. We'll have a look, see if there's any worms in there. And then once we figure out if there's any worms in there, we are going to sift it and I will show you the end product. Now, I don't expect this to be a competition video. I'll make one of those at some stage once I sift the whole lot, and I'll show you that process. But for now, this is what I've ended up with. This is, the competition was 3 months long, but it's fair to say that this was a 6-month project, and this is what I've ended up with. It's got mushroom spores in it, only recently introduced, but it's also got worms, also recently introduced. Mainly, it's been through about 5 heat cycles, and it has been cold composting ever since. Let's see what we've got. Exciting times. All right, here we go. Compost King Champion Compost. Don't forget that. Vote for Brendo. Let's have a look. There should be worms in here. Fingers crossed, guys. Fingers crossed. What do we got? What do we got? Oh, worm. Worm. Little baby worms too, so that's good. Means they've been breeding. Tiny little worms. Get a close up in there. That's a little baby party in there. Lots of little worms. So that means they've been breeding. Another one over here. Can you see? Come forward a bit. There he is. Yeah.
Here he is.
Another one. So that's 5 just through brushing through it. So you've got to think that that has been a success. I've been watering it a lot more. A lot more. There we go. That's a breeder. She is pregnant. As we know, worms are hermaphroditic. So they are both male and female at the same time. Another worm. So, yeah, success. I'll show you when it's sieved. It'll be amazing. Moment of truth. Let's have a look at this stuff sifted. We know there's loads of worms in there. I don't really mind if I lose a few. I just want to have a look at this. This is just for you guys and for me. So come in here. We'll tip it out into my homemade sieve. Yeah, we'll chuck it all in there. All right, go back out a bit, Shano. Now, it's a little bit wet to sieve, but it should still work. I've got a 4mm mesh in here, and it is good exercise. Loads of worms in there. Loads. And we're going to keep most of them, and we're going to put them back up in that pile because that is the worm farm. Okay, this is what we've ended up with. Come down and have a look at this, Shane. It is beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that. Black gold. Texas tea. So you know, this is going to compost for a lot longer than this. Oh, look, there's a cocoon right there. And look at all these little baby worms, these tiny little wisps. So this has been, since they've gone into that wedge, they seem to have started breeding, which I didn't expect. I expected to have to breed them in another place and then put them into that wedge. So that's amazing. Amazing. I'm going to use this. This black gold. What should I use it on? Tomatoes, of course. I'm stoked with that. So many worms. We've been going through it for about the last half an hour, and there is a million, bazillion, gazillion worms in there, all babies, which means they've gone through a breeding cycle. Again, didn't expect that. Thought that they would be too dry up there, too much woody material, but I've been watering a lot, so maybe that helps. Maybe that helps. Well, definitely helps. The compost competition is finished. I can actually start feeding them again. I'm going to use that stuff on my new potatoes that I planted. Didn't show you that, but I've planted a bucket load of potatoes. They were chitted. To say they were chitted is an understatement. So they were over chitted. Have a look at this. I have apples, pink lady apples. So that's amazing. I have mulberries, although for whatever reason they do not taste very good. And I've tried mulberries off this before and they tasted amazing. So you can see they're super prolific. If anybody knows why they're tasting a bit cardboardy, that would be nice to let me know. I've never seen it grow this much, so I think maybe it's just overproducing, possibly. And we have nectarines. I've pulled about 45 little nectarines off this bush because it just can't handle 60 nectarines on it. Now it's got about 10, and it is such a small plant. Let's see if it can handle that. Girls think I've got food. I don't have food. That's me. She is by far the dumbest chicken, but I love her. She's wicked. The girls are much more friendly now that Elvis is in solitary, which sucks. That's against you, mate. Like you turning my girls against me, and I didn't like it. But I know you're just doing your job. You can see the yard. That falls over probably every 2 days. That windmill. So you can see the yard's coming along. It still looks messy. Like I'll give you that, but it won't. Well, maybe it will. Maybe it'll always be a little bit messy. But I like that style of gardening. Just one last thing, then I'll let you go. The biochar experiment that I did right at the start seems to be quite positive, although inconclusive. The garlic down the other end of the yard is bigger than the stuff up the end of this yard, up this end of the yard. But there's variables. So when we really get stuff going, we'll start to do proper experiments where there are no variables. My Egyptian walking onions, my number one love, my number one permaculture plant in the whole world. These all came off one plant. And that one plant was at my last house. And I gave these to Mum about 4 years ago and didn't bring any with me. And then she gave me a heap when I got here. And now I've got about 40. So if you want a ground cover, legitimately, if you want a ground cover that's edible and profitable, unlike mint, who somebody I know is growing as a ground cover, I think we all know who that is. Maybe this would have been a better way to go. Far easier to control, far easier, far more tasty. And I would never have to buy an onion again, which we all know how much we use onions in cooking. So this is it. Everything's looking good. There's Shane. He's just put his jumper on because the sun's dropped. Everything's coming along wonderfully. And this week, the weather is going to be amazing. Check my flower out. Have a good day, guys. Have a wonderful week. Bye now.